What's up, guys? It is Chris back. What's up, guys? It is Chris back with another watch video, and today we're doing an unboxing of a pretty cool watch. This is Alkin, and it's a watch that actually was loaned into the channel a while ago, and I've just gotten around to doing a review on it. This is their Model 2. That's what they're calling it. Not the best name on earth, but it comes in a very nice packaging. So, but before I get into it, please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. So getting into it, the packaging is actually really nice. This is very different from most of the packaging that I get with all these micro brands. This comes in, it's a leather packaging. Of course, it's signed Alkin, but it's just like a raw piece of leather on the inside. You can see it's raw. Which is nice. It's like a natural leather. And then it's a 2-slot sort of protective case. This is not going to protect your watch if you drop it, but it's good for travel if you're going to throw watches in a bag. It's very, very compact. There is a very slight chance that your watch could rub against another watch in here, so that is something that you should definitely keep in mind. But it's an interesting watch roll. So if you're wearing a watch and you want to keep one watch in here, it's very, very thin and very compact. It's something different from the other ones that I have seen come through the channel. So I just wanted to mention that. It's a very nice, nice material too, and very nice leather. And here's the watch. This is obviously a diver watch. It has a bi-compressor sort of layout. It looks like a super compressor from the 70s. However, it's not a true super compressor, as we know, but it does get 300 meters water resistance, and they have a bunch of different dial options on this. It's a very interesting looking watch. I really, when I first got it in my hand, I thought, wow, this is a pretty good looking watch. I was very impressed, more impressed than what I saw from their website. And of course, the name sort of lets it down a little bit, Model 2. It's not something that seems very interesting, but that being said, it is a very good looking watch, and once I got it in my hands, I realized it was pretty well made as well. It seems like a lot of the same manufacturing is being done by a few different micro brands at the same factory, because this buckle is so familiar to a lot of brands, and some of them are signing them, some of them are signing them here, some of them are signing them on the clasp. However, the buckle is pretty much the same from a lot of micro brands recently. But the details on this specific watch, this is a 41 millimeter watch. You have 48 millimeter lug to lug, 12.8 millimeter thickness, dual crowns here. One is signed, one has sort of etching on it that makes it a little bit grippier. They're both screwed in crowns. You get 300 meters water resistance. This gets a Miyota 9039, which you can see from the back. I really like that on this watch. Most dive watches, 300 meters water resistance, you do not get to see the movement from the back, and a lot of times if it's an NH35, I don't care to see the movement from the back, but when it's a Miyota 9000 series, I feel like they do a little bit more to make the movement a little bit more presentable, so it's actually not a bad movement to look at. So when you flip over the watch, it's good looking, and it's signed Alkin right there. I'll do some close-ups of the movement itself. I'm not sure if this is a prototype. I believe this is a production model, but there is some fingerprints on that movement. That is only one thing that I've seen that I was able to immediately notice. But other than that, there's really no other QC issues here that I've noticed with the watch itself. The actual internal rotating bezel is very smooth. And like I said, it is screw down, this crown. So I've had other bi-crown divers on the channel where one of the crowns didn't screw in. So, even though you get 200 meters water resistance with those, it's nice, but I think it's a little bit nicer when you have two crowns that actually screw in. It's really, really not a bad thing. And this is obviously loomed. I believe they say this gets BGW 9, 20 millimeter lug width. And it's bidirectional, obviously, that internal rotating bezel. All stainless steel construction. Everything is brushed on here. I don't believe there is any polished areas. And the finishing is very nice. You have very solid links, screwed in links, drilled lugs, and you also get milled end links, milled clasps. So all of the specs that you sort of expect to get with a micro brand diver these days. That, you know, sort of the list of specs that every single micro brand diver does really well. But this is a little bit different because you do get those dual crowns. You have the internal bezel rather than an external bezel. So first off, you need to like that look. You need to like that feel. And then you get that Miyota movement. Like I said, there's just a couple of that little quality control issue where I see there's a fingerprint on that rotor. I'll do a close-up of it, of course. But other than that, everything else feels nice, and the watch itself feels like it's finished really nice. And the screwed links, they look like pretty decently sized screwed links. And I haven't actually sized this watch to my wrist yet, but I will. So that you guys can see. But before I do throw this on my wrist, I will show you the watch that I have on today. I have the Ifius. This is the Abyssi. This is probably my favorite dive watch, micro brand dive watch that I have had on the channel in a very long time. This really gives, and I know, you know, sort of a lot of people think of Zelos as one of the best micro brand diver manufacturers. This gives Zelos a run for its money. It actually gives Christopher Ward a run for its money. And I think Christopher Ward is probably the king, in my opinion. They are almost no longer a micro brand. They're becoming a major brand. They make so many watches. But this is an amazing watch, and I'm going to be doing an unboxing for this very, very soon. It is really a very nice watch. But speaking of nice watches, this is a very nice watch as well, the Alkin. And like I said, this is called the Model 2. It is 41 millimeters, 48 lug to lug, 12.9 millimeters thick or 12.8 millimeters thick. So not incredibly thick, considering you do get a clear case back. I will do a quick Lume shot on here, but let's talk about price. Price on this is pretty good. It's $444. I don't know where they came up with that price. Don't ask me. And they're saying that's 20% off of what the watch will actually retail for. So the retail for this will be in the 500s. Once this goes off pre-order, it's going to go up in price above $500, as I mentioned. So if you do like these, definitely check out their website. I'll put a link to their website in the description below. $440. Miyota movement is on the expensive side. It depends on what you're looking for. So if the dual crowns is something that gets you, or that you could see the Miyota movement from the back, but there are watches out there with Sellita movements that are actually cheaper than this or around the same price. So definitely keep that in mind. 300 meters water resistance is great. But again, I would rather a 200 meter water resistant watch with a Sellita movement maybe for around that price, but I'm not sure. Tell me what you guys think, obviously, in the comments below. I think it's on the pricier side. And especially at that 500 and change price point, I think it's pretty expensive. But let me do a quick Lume shot, and then we'll wrap up the video. Well, there you have it. There is very good Lume on here. The hands are fully Lume. That hour hand and the minute hand are fully lumed. You have a lumed second hand. It's actually almost fully lumed as well. All the indices are lumed. The entire bezel is lumed. So you get a lot of Lume on this watch. I'm actually very impressed. It is BGW9, so it has like a cool greenish blue color. It looks really, really good. I'm impressed. Generally, I think a really nice watch. I do think it's on the expensive side. I believe this might be a prototype, as I mentioned. There is a fingerprint on the rotor there, but I'm sure they'll address that in the actual production line. But again, I think it's expensive because you're getting that Miyota movement. $440 is $444, and especially if it's off the pre-sale, I think that's pretty expensive. There are divers out there with Sellita movements that are a little less expensive, but again, you get to see the movement and you get those dual crowns. They are both screwed in. You get 300 meters water resistant. I think it's a really well-made watch. So it's definitely something that you have to consider. If you like the look of this watch, you know, this is really nice. And I like the look. I like the Miyota 9039. In fact, just as much to look at as the Sellita movement. So that's something to be said. Anyway, tell me what you think in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. It's always super important. I want to hear from you guys and tell me what you guys think about this watch. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Please follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is WatchChrisBlog. I have some links in the description. Those links are to Amazon. If you click those links and buy anything, it helps support the channel. It doesn't cost you anything extra. It doesn't interrupt your Prime benefits. However, as I mentioned, it helps support the channel, and I very, very much appreciate it. So please, if you can, use those links. Anyway, thank you for logging on, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.